There's an old Chinese proverb about the best time to get started with, well, anything. And I really find it insightful and inspiring. So today, while we're talking all about just getting started, I want to break it down and maybe add in a few things just for you to think about as you're no doubt getting started with whatever is next for you. All right, so the proverb goes, the best time to plant a tree is 30 years ago. The second best time is now. So let's take that piece by piece. The best time to plant a tree is 30 years ago. Why? Because then it could have been growing for the last 30 years. And 30 years can seem like such a long time. I mean, really, a tree could grow quite a lot in those 30 years. But it's also not that long when you consider that a tree lives for hundreds of years. And this idea holds true even in our lives. The sooner we have the foresight to make a change or the courage to make a decision in line with what we want, the longer we'll have to put our energy toward that. But that doesn't mean that if we're just starting out now, all is lost. That's actually the second piece. The second best time is now. We're not guaranteed anything, but the present moment is the only place we can make a decision. So since we didn't do it 30 years ago, or even a day ago, the best we can do is deciding to make that change or go after that dream right now. And both of those are pretty good realizations that will no doubt help us going forward as we keep making decisions and getting started with whatever comes next for us. But I really want to take this idea one step further. And that is, if you don't do it now, before you know it, this moment you're in now will become the 30 years ago, or the 10 years ago, or the 5 years ago, or even just a year ago. Basically, at some point in the future, you'll be looking back, wondering why you didn't do it, or worse, wishing you had done it. And I don't think you'll ever find a good enough reason not to have pursued your dreams. So, if you're feeling a little hesitant, anxious, or unsure about whatever your next step is, just remember, the best time to plant a tree is 30 years ago. The second best time is now. Because if you don't do it now, soon, this moment is going to become that 30 years ago. And you're going to be looking back, wondering how you let the time pass, how you didn't do it, why you didn't do it. And when you're standing there in that moment, if you chose not to do it now, if you chose to put it off, if you chose to keep dragging your feet, if you chose not to get started with whatever dream or ambition you were wanting to pursue at the time, in that moment, in the future, what are you going to have to show for it, right? How are you going to have spent your time instead? It's just something to think about while you're getting ready and diving into your next steps, and while you're really trying to decide what next step you're going to take. This is just something to think about. All right, until next time, keep designing your happiness. Hey there, friend. I believe that in life and in business, your mindset is the most likely thing to hold you back. So, we're going to be here every week working it out so you can move closer to that life you've only been dreaming about until now. I'll see you back here for our next episode. And if you're loving what you're hearing, please take a minute to leave a review. All right, I'll see you next time.